Hey, what's going on, guys? Schwarzenegger Matt here. Right now I'm going to be showing you the tutorial for my card trick color-coded. Now, if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link on the screen here. If you're on a mobile device, I've left it in the description as well. But first off, watch the performance of this before you watch the tutorial, because there's a lot going on in this tutorial, and I want to make sure you know what happened, the outcome, and everything like that. So go ahead, click here for the performance. Alright, so let's get right into this. What you're going to need for this trick is 4 decks of cards. Really, you could have one deck of cards, you just wouldn't have the outcome that you saw where all the backs change color, which I think is I think that's the most powerful part of the trick, alright? Because they see that there's all red backs throughout the trick, and all of a sudden, bam, you get 3 different colors as well. So if you don't have that, you'll still be able to do the trick. You just won't have that ending. All right. So let's talk about what you're going to get. First off, get 4 decks of cards that have the same exact kings. What I mean by that is you don't want different king designs. All right. These are the same face cards. It's just different, back designs. All right. So once you have that, here's what you're going to need to do. First off, get a deck and designate it as your main deck. Alright, so I have red as my main deck. This is going to be the color that's shown throughout the trick, and then they're going to change into those colors. From your main deck, here's what you're going to want to get. First off, get 3 red spot cards. Alright, any 3 doesn't matter. One thing I do recommend is get the same suit. This will help you in your Elmsley counts, making sure the spectator doesn't notice them. Lastly, get yourself a king. It doesn't matter what king it is. Any king is fine. Once you have this, you're going to go into your colored packs. Alright, first I got a blue pack, and what you're going to get is any black spot card. It doesn't matter what the spot card is, and then you're going to get a king. One thing you want to make sure is the king is not the same as any others you currently have. So the only one I have right now is a heart, so I got the diamonds. Alright. Next, I went into an orange pack. I got another spot card. I made sure it's not the same as the other one here. And then I got another king, making sure it was different from the diamond and the heart, so I got the spade. Last but not least, I got one last spot card, making sure it was the same suit as my other black ones, and it was also different. And lastly, I got the last and final king, which was the king of clubs. Once you have all this, you're going to set up your trick. Alright, I'm going to go into the setup now, and then it's just Elmsley counts from there. Alright, so let's go into that now. Alright, so in this trick, you're going to have 2 packets of cards. You're going to have a pack with 4 cards, and then you're going to have a pack with 6 cards. Alright, now let's talk about the pack with 4 cards, because this is the pack you're going to start off with. Alright, what you're going to get is your 3 black spot cards that you had. These will most likely have different back designs, different than this one right here. Alright, and then this last card right here, this red card, this is from the dominant deck, or the card that you have the most color of. Alright, and this is going to be the king from that. Alright, once you have that, you simply place these colors in any order you want to start, and place this king on top. Once you have this, you square it off and pass it to the side. Alright, now keep in mind, the card on top should be that dominant color that you have the most of, which is red in my case. Now over here, you just have all the leftover cards. So first off, you have your 3 red spot cards, alright, and then you have your 3 color cards, and these are all kings. One thing you're going to want to do is look back at the cards over here. You want to reverse the color order of these cards. So first the last card in this pack was blue, so the first card in this pack is going to be blue. The middle card was orange. Orange has nowhere to go, so it's going to be stuck in the middle. The first card in this color order was green, so I put that last. Once you have this, you're going to grab your dominant color cards, alright, and place them in this exact order. You're going to have 2 of your dominant colors. You're going to have those order you just set up in the last one. If you think about it, here's basically what it is. Your dominant colors, there's 2 on top, 1 on the bottom, and the 3 cards in the middle are in reverse order of your other color cards right here. Now just take away this, and that is your color order. You don't use this card in that case, alright? From here, your cards are ready to go. You have 2 packets of cards. Like I said, this one has 4 cards, this one has 6 cards. The 6 cards are off to the side for now. You're going to pay attention to this pile right here. You're going to say, okay, all of these cards are red back, spot cards. Now you have to show that to the spectator and you have to sell it to them. Here's how you're going to do that. It's called the Rumba Count. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. I learned this from Miss Maggie822. I will leave a link on the screen here to that right now. It's also in the description, like I said, for anybody on a mobile device. Here's the basic understanding of it. I will leave a link. I'm not going to really go in depth to it. You hold the cards like so. You're going to take your hand, pinch it over, show that you have a black spot card. With your hand, you're going to pull all other 3 cards back and leave a spot card on the table. Now you're back in the same order you started. You're going to do this again. You're going to push off the cards on the bottom, grab them with your hand, and show you have another spot card. This last one, guys, once you learn the count, you're going to have to do a little bit different because Miss Mag tells you to push off the card and show it. But this is a red card, so you don't want to do that because you're trying to show they're all spot cards and they might see that. Alright, so do this kind of secretly in your hand. Have the card tilted at about a 45-degree angle and push off the card. But at the same time, cover it with your hand and push it off like so. That will not only mask the color of this card, but they won't see this last spot card is actually a king and also red. Once you have done that, you're ready to go. You're going to leave this last card down. This should be a king, alright? Once you have that, draw the attention to this packet over here. And from here, guys, it's all about Elmsley counts and an alternative Elmsley count, which I'll be teaching you right now. Right when you pick up this packet, what you're going to do is an Elmsley count. Alright, you're going to show that you have 4 red back cards. At this point, you're going to push off the top 2 cards, show that they are red, alright, and put them to the bottom. After you've done that, you're going to turn the packet face up and perform another Elmsley count. You should be perfectly set up to show that all the cards are red. Once you have done that, casually bring 1 card to the bottom. Alright, now how do I do this? Usually during the Elmsley count, as I'm going, that last card, I don't actually just put it on top, I just put it on the bottom. Alright, you can look back at my performance, that's why I emphasize that part. Look back at my performance and you'll learn really how to do that. Or you'll actually see it in live action as to what I do. At this point, you're going to grab one of your spot cards. It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to place it second from the bottom. So I'm putting it second from the bottom, as you can see here. Alright. And what now you're going to do is called an alternative Elmsley count. This is, you have to show that you have 5 cards. If you were to do an Elmsley count right now, it's only going to look like you have 4 cards, and they know you added 1, so you're going to try to show that it's 5. Here's how you do that. What you're going to do is peel off 1 card. Bring that card to the bottom, and then perform your Elmsley count like so, and they'll see a king. Now, if you guys don't already know or haven't mastered the Elmsley count, this is going to be a little bit difficult. First off, I've left a link on the screen here to the Elmsley count tutorial, also in the description for those people on mobile devices. But I urge you, please practice the Elmsley count as much as you can, because you guys, you're performing almost a 7-card Elmsley count in this trick, which is pretty hard for beginners. So if you don't know the Elmsley count too well, you're going to want to practice that, alright, before doing this trick. Grab out another card. So this is the 3 of clubs. You can say it, doesn't matter. You put it second from the bottom once again. You square it up. And once again, you're going to perform that alternate Elmsley count, where you bring 1 card to the, you peel off 1 card, move it to the bottom, and then perform your Elmsley count. And this will also draw out another king. So there we go. One thing which I just did, and I do want to just emphasize right now, is when you're taking out this king, you want to be careful not to flash the other kings in the packet. So make sure you square up the cards before taking out the king. The last 7 right here, once again, you're putting it second from the bottom, like always. You're squaring it up, and this time I'm going to go a little bit faster, but you bring 1 card to the bottom, and then doing your Elmsley count. You then can show that you also have a king in the pack. Alright, just like so. On the last king, you don't really have to do much. You just snap your fingers, wave your hands, and it becomes a king just like that. At this point, you have 4 kings on the table. What you're now going to do is, and this would be the last portion of the trick if you only had a 1-color deck, is you do an Elmsley count to show you have 1, 2, 3, 4 red cards left. And that would be the end of your trick if you only had one deck. But if you use 4 decks like I did, what you're now going to do is turn the pack over and show you have a green card. Now, because we set up the deck the way we did, or the packet the way we did, the first card you dealt down, which is the King of Clubs right here, should be a green back. So you're going to rub it on the green, pretend like it's switched, and then show it now has a green back just like that. You then can grab your king, you can rub it on the orange, and now you have an orange back. King of Diamonds, you rub it on the blue back, and now you push off, and all of a sudden you have a blue back. The last one, the last and final, should have a red back. But one thing you have to be careful of is right now you have 3 other red cards in your hand. Now, I did flash this in the video. Some of you did notice, and you thought I only had 1 other card, but really there was 2. What you're going to do is put this down and just be careful. One thing that I did in my video, and I don't recommend, is putting 1 card down and then put this packet alongside of it, alright? And that's why I've done this all the way through like so. You're going to have your king, you're going to rub it on the red card, and go like this. Put your cards perfect like so. This will allow you to square up the packets and put them down almost without flaw, alright? It's safer, it's easier, and you'll have less likely of flashing those cards beneath it. So once again, you rub the king on, you're going to turn it over, and literally square up the cards like so, and then put them down. This will help you out, and it will make sure you don't flash as much. So that is the trick, guys. If you haven't seen the performance, once again, click there, also in the description. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And as always, guys, remember, I'll be back.